நீங்க சுத்தி வளைச்சு எதுக்காக யூடியூப்ல இருக்கீங்கன்னு கேக்குறீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Hello, வணக்கம். I'm in Chennai இன்னைக்கு and I'm so excited. இன்னைக்கு வந்து we are going to meet an amazing company, a company whom I know them for the last decade, and we are going to meet their CEO as well and their team. So I'm really excited.
I want to introduce you all. You all know him already, right? One of his followers, Mr. Sriram Manoharan. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, Sid, let's move to the questions. It's not going to be a question and answer like session, but take us back to the days where you and Sriram first connected. What has kept your bond so strong over these years?
Oh my God. Okay. So the very first time I met Sriram was in 2016. That's the time actually we were primarily in the staff aug space, in providing talent in technology. And I was talking to Sriram that, hey, we want to get into the services side, and as a result of which, I had one of my co-founders in Digital, and when I met Sriram, it was much before that, and we wanted to get into the services journey of Dean Sali. So Sriram was talking about how he had built this firm in India, and we were in two different spaces. I come more from the staff aug space, and he comes from services space. In the introduction, Sriram has mentioned that he looks me up as a mentor, but I look him up more as a mentor because today our success at Digital would not have been possible if Sriram hadn't laid the foundation. So give it up for Sriram. Amazing. On the time we didn't, Sriram was talking about how they went about building this organization, and an organization where they have such a strong prowess in digital marketing and customer acquisition. I was like, எனக்கு வந்து அப்படியே பயங்கர ஆச்சரியம், எப்படிடா இது இவங்க பண்றாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி கான்டெஸ்ட்ல. ஏன்னா நாங்க பண்றது வந்து ஸ்டாஃபிங், எங்களுக்கு வந்து சர்வீசஸ் பிசினஸ் இஸ் வெரி நியூ, பட் சர்வீசஸ் பிசினஸ்ல வந்து யூ நீட் டு ஹேவ் a lot of front ending sales folks. Long story short, என்னன்னா between Sriram and I, it was more of knowledge sharing. The relationship was, I'm talking about, நான் ஒவ்வொரு தடவையும் ஸ்ரீராம கால் பண்றப்ப வந்து I will say, hey, there is a services opportunity, how could we deliver for this particular customer? So it was back and forth in terms of, and Sriram wanted to know how is it that we are putting up the front ending sales team and how we are engaging with the customers and landing customers. So it was very mutual, and one of the reasons why our relationship or our bond is so strong is we always thought that how can we give to the other person? It's not about receiving, but it's always about giving. நான் எத்தனை தடவை ஸ்ரீராமுக்கு கால் பண்ணியிருக்கேன், ராத்திரி இங்கே இந்தியாவில் it will be like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and he'll instantly pick up the phone and say, hey, how can I help you? And he's never thought twice in terms of jumping into that opportunity, coming in as a partner, right? Generally மக்கள் என்ன யோசிப்பாங்கன்னா, நான் வந்து இந்த opportunityல வரேன்னா what is in for me? What Sriram has as an attitude is, what can I give? We can build on this partnership. That's the way we both thought about it. But that's what is the relationship. And இதுல பியூட்டி என்னன்னா, அவர் ஒரு தடவை கூட எங்க ஆபீஸ்க்கு வந்ததில்லை. This is the first time I'm coming to CONTUS's office, but just dazzled by the growth what you all have had. And in fact, நடந்து வந்துட்டு இருந்தப்ப ஸ்ரீராம் கிட்ட கேட்டுட்டு இருந்தேன், எத்தனை பேர் வச்சு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்க? I was saying a 2-people journey, and this is what you see here. It is just amazing, truly inspiring.
Having such a kind of friendship is a blessing, and I'm really glad that you've both been inspiring each other along the way.
Thank you.
Next, the Hire Act 2016 has been recently debated. What's your perspective on its potential impact on global IT outsourcing?
So, Hire Act பத்தி கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்களா? H1B இதை பத்தி கேள்விப்பட்டீங்களா? எத்தனை பேர் கேள்விப்பட்டீங்க? ஐயோ, 4 பேர் தானா? இந்தியா ஃபுல்லா, உலகம் ஃபுல்லா எல்லாம் that is the only thing which is pops up on the phone. What is the H1B regulation அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. So, Hire Act பத்தி கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க, கொஞ்சம் பேர் கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கீங்க. Okay. So, Hire Act என்னன்னா வந்து, just to give the context or the pretext around that. Hire Act என்னன்னா, USல இருந்து anything which gets outsourced, whether it is IT, BPO, Software services, BPO services, anything which gets outsourced, US government wants to impose a 25% tax. இது வரைக்கும் வந்து USல வந்து service tax கிடையாது. Barring a few states. Okay? Right now, India's consumption India receives close to about $100 billion in outsourcing, whether it is IT outsourcing, BPO outsourcing, whatever it is, right? So on the 100 billion la vandu, what the US government wants to do is they are saying idu vandu ipo oru iduva pass pannirukanga, in the sense it's not completely approved and passed and it's become a law, but it is threatening, in the sense they just introduced a bill stating that, hey, 2025 we have to add another 25%. Why that 25% na? With that 25% they can upskill local talent in the United States. Local talent retraining, adallam pannalam solli. So that is the idea behind it. Now, what does it imply? What is the implication? What can happen? Idanala enna avuna, the large SIs, any outsourcing company, like for example, even our company for that matter, we outsource a lot of work to our own company in India. Any company who outsources, they are going to have a 25% overhead. 25% overhead irundaduna, what is going to happen? Outsourcing is going to, either customers are going to think the overall the differential, what they are projecting is it is going to be between 60 to 80%, the cost is going to be higher. 60 to 80% cost higher achina, what is going to happen? Either the customer has to pay more so that it can be covered. If the customer pays so much, adukku vandu local talent hire pannittu poiralame, right? ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து இன்னைக்கு செய்யறதுக்கு it is costing about $1 million with an on-site offshore combination. அதே ப்ராடக்ட் வந்து it is going to cost me $1.8 million, and if I can deliver the same project, why do customers outsource? Labor arbitrage, cheaper cost, that is what they try to do. So now in the 1.8 million aidchina, in the 1.8 million vachi can I execute the project with local talent on site? So what it is going to do is it is going to shrink the outsourcing component, outsourcing business overall. But don't get alarmed. This is all in the play at the moment, but it is nothing set on stone. So overall, what is going to happen is there is going to be a shift in the outsourcing market. What is going to happen? Another thing is, how does it pose for India as such? Nariya pe vandinga outsourcing, like outsourced projects, you might be supporting a US customer or things like that, right? Adula vandu there is going to be a 25% increase in the overall rate, but the customer, whoever is paying, right, they cannot show it, they cannot write it off as an expense. They have to pay taxes on the dollars spent as well. So that is the reason why it goes between 60 and 85%. Now, what does it eventually do? India markets la vandu outsourcing could shrink a little bit. That is one. Another scenario vandu இன்னைக்கு வந்து Indiaல, if you are able to outsource a particular project and you are paying, like, let's say $20 an hour for labor nu vechukonga, the way customers can think about it is, எங்க வந்து இந்த $20 per hour labor வந்து, can I get it at $10 per hour? Is there another country where you can get it? Similar talent, similar kind of skill set, right? Why are we so good in outsourcing? Because of the talent pool, the rich talent pool. You're all so good, and that's the reason why we get all those opportunities. But are there other countries who can offer that? That is where the business will go towards. But nothing is set on stone, so nothing to fear. It's all good. Positive. Let's stay positive. என்ன அப்படியே சேட் ஆயிட்டீங்க எல்லாம் இது சொன்னோன்னே? அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணுமே கிடையாது. நான் சொன்னதெல்லாம் தியரிட்டிக்கல் ஆன்சர்ஸ், பட் நத்திங் இஸ் கோயிங் டு ஹேப்பன். இட்ஸ் ஆல் கோயிங் டு பி ஃபைன், பிகாஸ் there is a big play into this, right? It's a $100 billion market. Disrupting a $100 million market, there's going to be a lot of pushback, so it'll take time to whatever is going to happen.
Yeah, this will definitely help us plan ahead.
Absolutely.
What are the top 3 qualities you believe every young professional must build to stay relevant in the fast-changing industry?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
In the kelvi vandu, I think it is for me or for them?
For them.
For them. Okay. So couple of things now, to stay relevant, this is the way I look at it. I have to stay relevant as well, as much as you are relevant, or you have to stay relevant. So for a young professional, there are இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற காலகட்டத்துல வந்து, with so much amount of tech, AI play coming into, every day it is a evolving landscape. Every day technology gets disrupted. நீங்க இது மாதிரி யோசிச்சு பாருங்க, ஒரு single introduction of the H1B thing or the Hire Act, whatever came into play, the whole industry gets disrupted. For the last 30 years, we've built this industry and everybody is scrambling. So disruption is something what we always have to expect. But how do you overcome disruption? Does it impact our business? Of course it will impact everybody's business. When you talk about software outsourcing, it will impact a lot of companies. But how do you stay relevant? There are three things which generally I think of. One, staying abreast with the latest tech. What is the latest tech which is coming into play? Constantly scanning, right? Constantly scanning and understanding what is the latest tech which is coming into play. Abreast so I'll say first, being curious. Hey, what is happening in my industry? நீங்க வந்து ஒரு Java developer or web developer or a content creator or whatever you're doing. First thing is being curious about various different technology play which is happening in the marketplace. The second thing is curiosity and abreast is almost in the same layer. The next one, what I would say is, நம்ம வந்து when we see Instagram feed இருக்குல்ல, Instagram feed வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும், அதை பார்த்துக்கிட்டே இருக்கும். There will be something interesting. அதை இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கும் பார்த்துட்டு அது படிச்சுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் ஸ்க்ரோல் பண்ணிடுவோம். But how are you actually adapting to it? Are you taking an action to actually learn something out of it? இன்னைக்கு வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு புது tool, something has come in, but taking a dive quickly, although I have a lot of work and things like that, quickly take a dive into it and learning that particular tech. So consistent learning, which is like ongoing learning, specifically in tech, for you to stay relevant is something very, very important. So these are the three things what I would say. Curiosity, taking a deep dive, and constant learning. These are the three things is my recommendation. Yeah.
So as a leader with multiple roles, like as a CEO, investor, digital creator, in one of your video you have said a small girl was asking you who you are, and you said that's a very beautiful question, and you said I'm a normal person. Yes, of course you're a normal person, but you're also a great CEO, investor, and digital creator. So how important is personal branding to you?
நீங்க சுத்தி வளைச்சு எதுக்காக யூடியூப்ல இருக்கீங்கன்னு கேக்குறீங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். YouTubeல இருக்கீங்க, Instagramல இருக்கீங்க. Okay. A lot of people have asked me this question, all right? Why is personal branding so important? Personal branding is important for each and every individual, all right? Not just for CEOs. எல்லாத்துக்குமே இருக்கணும் personal branding. Personal branding is like your resume. A resume which stands out and speaks. இன்னைக்கு வந்து நான் வந்து because நான் வந்து இந்த கம்பெனிக்கு வந்து 18 வருஷமா வேலை செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறதுனால நான் ரெஸ்யூமேவே ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணல. So what is an alternate form of resume அப்படின்னு யோசிச்சேன். So அதுக்காக தான் வந்து I thought, hey, you know what? I'm not looking for a job, but when I look for a job, people should know who I am, right? So I don't need to send a resume at that particular point in time. They can just take a look at some of my videos and probably they can recognize. And that's the fun part of it. All right. So let me talk about a little bit about why it is so important for me. As a CEO, you are in the front lines of the business. You are connecting with your customers, you are in board meetings, you are connecting with your employees and all of that. The same examples, whatever you are doing in your business, you want to take it to connecting it with the community. There are a lot of students who do not know how actually students, school kids, elementary school kids, they do not know, avungalukku vandu theriyadhu, how is it actually they can become successful. Innikku there is no form or medium to actually for them to get to know what happens inside the sales meeting, what happens inside a boardroom, what happens in your everyday life, what happens as a manager, what happens as an employee. So I thought, you know what, how do I connect the dots between these two worlds? That is where my personal brand came into existence, right? It is not just to inspire people, but it is to actually help them become successful. So my personal brand is to create success for the younger generation to come and to leave a legacy. That's the way I think about it.